Saul's in the post. It's up against Thompson. Here's Snell, and there's the rejection. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will retain possession.
That's his first personal foul. Out of bounds. Remains Bulls ball.
For those just joining us, fourth quarter here. We're just over 2.5 minutes into it. When you talk about steals, one of the harder stats to replace. Some players just have the knack.
Yeah, you know, when you replace a guy who can take the ball away from opponents, a great stealer, I mean, it's hard to replace that in your lineup. Steals require a special knack, quickness, anticipation. And, you know, guys that do a good job of ball hawking can really get into an opposing player's head, too.
And again, Chicago, no good.
What a struggle for him. A goose egg in the box score today.
The drive by James, and he gets it to go. James has got 8 points here in this quarter.
Everything's falling now, and this lead continues to increase.
Yeah, it's just way too hard to keep up with a scoring pace like this. I mean, and that's why the defense is having a tough time.
And he takes the beat in stride and slams it home.
It makes it so easy for your teammate when you can lead him with a pass like that one.
We've played just over 3.5 minutes now in the fourth quarter. They set the pick. And here's Heinrich. And Matthew Dellavedova is going to pick up the foul. That's foul number 2 for him.
You know, every team in the league loves to have good size in the middle, but it does seem like the league is getting tougher for big men. You know, they help defenses now. The allowance of zone defenses, you can sort of load up on players. It can inhibit a big man's ability to attack because you can see double teaming even before he's gotten the ball. But it's made for great strategy, and I really like the new rules.
Here's Varejao, and Cleveland again with the bucket.
Wow, they are just red hot, guys, not missing a thing.
Sometimes you see a player get on a tear like this, Steve, but never an entire team.
Kicks it to Muhammad. Pulls up on the wing. Good, and Heinrich gets the assist. Muhammad's got 4 this quarter. And as the game has required more movement, Clark, we're seeing big guys try to slim down.
And yeah, big men with agility are at a premium, but also it takes a little bit of the stress and strain off the joints. As few as 5 to 10 pounds less can make a big difference, and that's huge for big guys.
And Cleveland making a change here. James is checked in. The free throw drops for Sean Marion.
Sean Marion, with 15 years in the NBA, a very good 15 years, basically talked about retiring even though he was still playing well at the conclusion of last season. Although I guess he did have a change of heart.
It's Gasol missing.
Major defensive lapse right there. And he's not a player you can leave open for a jump shot. You got to stay attached to him. They're lucky he couldn't punish them for it.
LeBron drives in.
Well, I tell you, he squeezed that orange as tight as he could before that throwdown.
Yeah, no way he was going to lose that thing on the way up. You're right, Clark.
Better safe than sorry. I mean, you got to be sure when you're in traffic.
They set the pick. Here's Heinrich. The feed to Snell. Fires the 3, and he gets the bucket.
And Marion, a 4-time All-Star, one of the most athletic and versatile players in league history. Still an excellent role player, even after all these years.
Boy, oh boy, to be young again. My, oh my. Got me thinking back to my days.
Oh, yeah, right. It does make you nostalgic, doesn't it? Oh, man.
Yep, reminds me a lot of myself in my younger days, too, guys. Oh, wait, maybe not.
Gasol with it, and it's Marion picking him up. A nice shot by Gasol. And Marion has made a good chunk of change over his career. A lot of money. He said he wanted to walk away while he could still walk.
Yeah, well, he can't walk, and his game certainly could still walk and talk. An excellent defender, an energy player, a stat sheet stuffer. I'm quite pleased that he hasn't decided to hang him up yet.
Ejuan Moore, he's checked in for the Bulls. On the wing, James. And they double up James. Smith dishes to LeBron. 6 to shoot. Cleveland needs to get a shot off here. And it's Smith missing. Chicago has gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the fourth quarter. Here's Moore. Off target from three-point range. Here's LeBron. He lobs up the alley-oop pass. And the jam by J.R. Smith.
Well, he wasn't phased at all by the bigger man on him. And on the low block, I thought he might be.
You know, Steve, I thought maybe he'd prefer to bring him out to the perimeter, but whatever works, go to it.
Moore outside. Pass to Snell from the arc. And that one's good.
And another three-pointer to their second half total.
Yeah, they caught that long-range bug at halftime, and it's been bombs away ever since.
Leaps for it. Makes it off the glass.
Some defensive breakdowns are starting to show up now. Their last 4 buckets allowed have come from very close range.
Giving up these easy chances is going to do wonders for their confidence.
They get it back. Gasol off target at the rim.
Pretty good defense there. I mean, that's a shot that he can make, but they really challenged him.
LeBron drives in. The shot is off. And it's Chicago the other way. Moore with it. Dishes it to McDermott. Offline with his 3. LeBron left side. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
Well, Anderson Varejao staying relatively healthy last season. That's to say he only missed 17 games. That's a far cry from his previous 3 seasons where he played a total of just 81 games.
The Bulls making a switch here. Brooks checked in. And Varejao, Steve, has shown flashes of all-star caliber production at the center position. It's been his injuries that have really held him back.
Yeah, it's good to see him able to remain on the court for most of the season. I mean, a tough year for the Cavs last year record-wise, but Varejao, for him, a step in the right direction health-wise.
Blocked. Out of bounds. Bulls ball as Chicago keeps possession.
21 seconds on the shot clock. 21.
Tries again. And Muhammad kicks to Gasol.
Looking at the game for Gasol, he's got 10 rebounds, and he's added a steal to his stat line also.
Well, that's obviously not a big number, but he's been doing some valuable defensive work for him.
Well, something of a bounce-back season for Pau Gasol in 2013-14. Steve, with better health and a return to playing in the middle more often.
Yeah, you know, he dealt with a few nagging injuries, Kevin, but scored better, rebounded better. Nice to see him, show that he's really still an elite big after struggling a couple seasons ago.
And stolen by James. Goes up, trips down the breakaway slam.
How about that now? What a sensational finish.
Oh, got to be able to get some hang time to do that one.
Yeah, you got to rise and levitate.
Suspend yourself.
Yeah, levitate.
And glide. And glide. You got to glide in and reverse it home. So sweet. Well, I love it. He gets there first, absorbs the contact. Nice play defensively.
No flop there. He took that one right in the chest.
Mozgov, he's checked in for Anderson Varejao.
And for Powell, with an expiring contract, trade rumors swirled all season long. That's nothing new for him. He's been hearing them for years.
Timeout called, Cleveland.
And Powell last season making $20 million a year. Hard for the Lakers to trade him when they wanted cap space. In the end, he found a new home and a new start in free agency.
Kyrie Irving, he's checked in for Cleveland. Smith kicks to James. Brooks against Irving. LeBron passes to Marion. Gasol with the steal. Moore outside. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Brooks. Brooks has got 4 assists now tonight.
He put that lead pass in perfect position for his teammate.
James dishes to Smith. LeBron against Moore. LeBron drives in, and he banks in the layup.
I've really appreciated their activity in the post today. I mean, their movement down low has been great.
Yep, ball movement, player movement. They're generating a lot of easy opportunities for themselves down there.
Shoots from 14. The shot's good from Gasol. Gasol's got 8 here in the quarter.
I wasn't so sure he could get it turned around after that poor first half, but he's got it rolling here a little bit in the second.
Here's James. Gasol with the rebound. Gasol's got the glass covered here tonight. 11 boards for him. Here's Moore with the second effort. And it's going to be a goaltending call here, so they'll count the bucket.
He got there late, but you do have to like the aggressiveness to go after the block. But that one's going to count.
Marion kicks to Irving. For three. The offensive rebound. Mozgov passes to Marion. The drive by...
Look out!
Rim is shaken.
Well, that puts the nail in the coffin.
A clinic in terms of how to play with the lead right there.
Well, Chicago's gone a disappointing 2 of 6 on three-point attempts here in the fourth. Here's Brooks, and fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot two.
Brooks has been putting up the numbers. He's got 11 points and also 3 steals. He's had great awareness out there, exploiting those passing lanes and coming up with steals.
Well, it really does seem like he's been one step ahead of everybody else out there, anticipating plays so well.
Well, guys, you talk about the growth of the game internationally, but different time zones can make it a challenge for other countries to enjoy the game live. You look at China, for instance, it's a growing market for the game, but they're 12 hours ahead of East Coast time and 15 hours ahead of the West Coast. But if you're a junkie for hoops, I guess you'll adjust to the time zone.
Cleveland's gotten off to an 0-for-2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for the Cavaliers.
But, Steve, you know, you don't see this kind of a blowout often. But tonight, this is a quality win across the board to deliver out, Clark, this kind of punishment to
Well, you know what? I thought they did a nice job of playing against the game. They kept the pressure on and clearly were dominant in every area.
Fantastic show put on. What an amazing game all around it was for James. Just an outpouring of points from him. Nobody could do anything, really, to stop him.
Well, the Cavaliers largely underachieved last season. A big part of that was constantly dealing with distractions the entire season, it seemed.
Yeah, it certainly appeared that way. It was always something with players fighting in-house or items getting leaked to the media and causing things to get stirred up. It's very hard when those distractions are circulating for you to be effective.
Brooks kicks to Gasol. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Brooks.
Guys, that time he went for the fancy finish for us there, man. That was sweet.
James, soft touch off the glass. And with Cleveland, it was just a train of events that led to the bad environment between players getting into it with each other and saying they wanted out of Cleveland. Some players saying it was about their brand and nothing else. They did everything they could do to get things in order this summer and did a pretty good job at it.
On better footing now, for sure.
Timeout called, Cleveland. They're leading by a ton. There's 25 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
It's almost like they're rubbing it in a little bit with this timeout, guys.
Yeah, not really much to talk about. Let's get the game over and move on.
Looking at who's out there now for the Cavaliers. Anderson Varejão's checked in for Mozgov. Thompson comes in for Sean Marion. And it's Matthew Dellavedova in for J.R. Smith. 5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Irving kicks to LeBron. LeBron is doubled. And again, it's Cleveland.
A serious game-clinching run. They've taken off here. Impressive.
No backing off. What a surge at the right time.
Brooks outside. Missed. And so it's Cleveland taking care of business in this one. They put on a show tonight, thoroughly controlling each end of the floor.
Hey, what more can you ask?
And now, down to Doris Burke, who is courtside, standing by with our Jordan Player of the Game. Doris?
Thank you, Kevin. LeBron, congratulations on a wonderful performance. Can you tell us what goes on in your mind when you get in this kind of a rhythm like we saw in this basketball game?
It's a zone you get into, and, you know, it's kind of unexplainable, you know, and you try to go out there and you feel like there's nothing that you can't do. You know, and hopefully the momentum just continue to go throughout the whole quarter, and it did. And not only did it open up for me, open up for the rest of us, too.
Thank you for the time, sir. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Doris. And, folks, that about concludes our broadcast tonight. For Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching as we leave you with our Jordan Player of the Game, LeBron James.